What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with a special report video. That's right. Earlier today we had the special report for everything Season 10 and a little glimpse at Season 11. Now, I did spend the weekend with the family. We celebrated Mrs. Vondoom's birthday, so shout out to Mrs. Vondoom. And yeah, we just got back into town, and then I wanted to give you guys this full video. That way you are up to date with all of the news regarding tomorrow's Season 10 or today's Season 10, wherever you're from. And then also that glimpse into Season 11, and then a lot of other things that they talked about. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking down each and everything that was talked about, so it's going to be a full breakdown of the special report. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already. And let's go ahead and jump into it. I hope you enjoy. Hit the thumbs up. You know the whole YouTube spiel. And let's roll that footage. Alrighty then. And now here we are. Special report. This is for Season 10, Price of Power. But we already know that we are going to get some Season 11 news, specialization revamp news, apparel events, the works. You already know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, and whenever I feel like there's something that we need to talk about or break down or ask questions about, what have you, I'll pause, give you my 2 cents, and we'll jump right back into it. So, yeah, I hope you guys brought your popcorn, because here we go. Now, this is on their official Ubisoft page. I did turn up their volume as high as it could possibly go, so hopefully their volume is not an issue. But here we go, 10 seconds. And I have not watched this yet. We were actually at Disney for the day. So shout out to the Vondoom family.
Hello everyone,
Here we go.
I'm Daria, community developer for The Division 2, and it's really good to be back. Today with me is Yannick, creative director for The Division 2.
Okay, the other guy.
The other guy, yeah. I need to comment on that like really quickly. I had no idea that we just went live, and honestly, like I would never disrespect Yannick like that in public, and I'm really sorry.
In public.
In public. In private, it is totally fine.
This
But
is what
not
I
in
have to go through every day at work.
I'm really sorry about that. And yeah, hello everyone. Now that's professional and nice me is still here, and I just want to be with you through the duration of the whole stream. I will try. I just wanted this stream to be completely cringe free. Apparently it's not possible. Everything is ruined now, but we'll see how it goes next.
Everything cringe
I really
free.
hope that all of you had a chance to watch Ubisoft Forward this Saturday, and I really hope that you enjoyed all the nice and shiny announcements. And yeah, just let us know what you think about the show. But then again, for the Division fans,
Right off the bat, what I thought about the show. So for Ubisoft Forward, for them to talk about all 3 games being Heartland, Resurgence, and Division 2, I thought it was awesome. Putting them out on that stage like that was huge, especially for Heartland and Resurgence. Division 2, it was a little lackluster because we already knew all of that stuff. But you have to remember that Ubisoft Forward is for everyone. It's not just for our little community. You know what I mean? So I know they did get a lot of backlash. And, as far as in our perspective as a community, we were like, yo, we wanted something huge. But then come to find out it was in this special report is where we were going to get all of the good news. So let's keep going. I mean, overall, Ubisoft Forward was huge for Heartland and Resurgence. And this special report is going to be huge for the Division 2.
specifically, this very stream would be dedicated to Season 10, and we're gonna talk more about Manhunt. We're gonna talk more about the countdown changes, about the PTS changes that followed your feedback.
Season
We'll
10
also,
Price of Power.
Finally reveal the new PvE game mode.
He looks pretty cool,
that is
though.
supposed to come with Season 11. And then, of course, there.
Like right off the bat, this jacket kind of gives me like old, like I don't know, like what was it, like Civil War type of deal? You know what I mean? Like the blue coats, things like that. I mean that looks pretty damn cool. That's a cool jacket.
Gonna be a few comments about PvP, about ETF. We'll show you new April events more closely, especially the baby. And yeah, so that is what is planned for today. One important comment before we actually start a deep dive into season 10 stuff is that we plan to take your comments and answer some of them live, but that will be done closer to the end of the stream. So we ask you not to spam the chat with the comments right now,
Oh
but
man,
rather
I
save
could only
them
imagine what they had to go
for
through.
like, I don't know, last 20-15 minutes. So it will be easier for our moderators and community team to pick them up.
Well, at
from the
least
chat.
they're going to answer questions. That's good.
And yeah, I think we can start unless you want to say something.
No, I was just like, yeah, I'm sure Twitch chat is going to behave and follow the rules. So
Yeah, but I mean,
Needs to be
guys,
said.
you need to behave because
on.
there is a lot of good stuff. that
Behave.
be
we
the
wanna
better
show.
person.
Uh-oh.
Behave.
So okay, let's probably touch base on the PTS
Mhm.
changes because we had two phases for PTS this time around, and the last one was very insightful
Mhm.
for us, and I think for the community as well. And we're actually very thankful for your feedback. We went through a lot of comments, especially about the Picara holster,
Oh, nice.
and I hope that you've seen the changes that we want to implement with 16.1.
Let's see.
And with the holster specifically, it's on our known issues board. You can just go and check in there. The link is on Twitter, so please do not hesitate to do that. And yeah, I'm just happy to confirm that instead of 20%, it's still going to have a perfect attribute of 15%,
Yes.
right?
Hold on. They're showing like an animation up here in the top left corner about countdown and all the different difficulties. I completely started reading that slide. That was super confusing. Hold on. Let me go back and listen what they're saying about the Picaro's holster. So they said known
And with the
issues board.
holster specifically, it's on
Uh-huh.
our known issues board. You can just go and check in there. The link is on Twitter, so please
Yep.
do not hesitate to do that.
Links on Twitter.
And yeah, I'm just happy to confirm that instead of 20%, it's still going to have a perfect attribute of 15%,
Yes.
right?
Interesting.
And weapon damage and one random attribute.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we moved it around basically. It
So
was
so
on
this is exactly what we wanted, people. This is exactly what we wanted. This is perfect. This is smart. This is a great change. The Picaro's holster is going to be kind of reverted back, but a little bit tweaked. So now you're going to get a core attribute, right? It's going to be a blue. However, you're going to be able to re-roll that blue to a yellow. Now, as far as your normal attributes, you're going to have one that is random. It can be anything. But the other one is going to be fixated. It's going to be there no matter what. It's going to be a perfect attribute, and it's going to be 15% weapon damage. So that's the equivalent, of having that as a core attribute. So now you get to double down on core attributes, and then you get one normal attribute for the Picaro's holster. That is huge. That's perfect for hybrid builds. This is great news. Great news.
phase one. The perfect attribute was part of the attributes and not the core attributes. But it was on top of the other attributes. So you ended up with an item that had, one core and three attributes. One of them was a 20% weapon damage. So that just was really, really powerful, as it was underlined by everyone. So we tried for PTS2 to have a different approach where we thought, okay, let's move it on the core attribute. So that still is a stronger core attribute than anything else you can get in the game. And therefore you get your two random attributes on top of it. But that definitely obviously made it less interesting for a lot of people, and I think what a lot of people were attached to was how good the initial proposal was for hybrid builds, because you could get your weapon damage bonus but still have a core, a blue core, a yellow core. So so we decided to go back to that in the final version, if
It's
I
a
can
great
say.
idea.
But what we're doing here is it's 15% weapon damage, and it will use one of the one of the two attribute space that you would normally have with
Smart.
random attributes. So you're going to have a normal core, blue core by default that you can recalibrate to something else. Your 15 weapon, weapon.
Oh, he said you can recalibrate to something else? He didn't just say yellow.
Normally have with random attributes. So you're going to have a normal core, blue core by default that you can recalibrate to something else. Your 15
Interesting.
weapon damage, 15% weapon damage.
I'm wondering if
and
you could do
one
double
attribute,
reds.
And then another random attribute on top
That
of
would
it.
be so crazy.
Yeah, I really hope that everyone is excited about this change because we saw a lot of comments and a lot of you were disappointed with us taking the 20% damage. So hopefully we'll receive more productive feedback with our BTS phases, and that actually proves that we're listening to you. So do not hesitate to provide us with your feedback in a nice and constructive form.
That's what PTS is for, right? So it is to, sometimes we're going to put stuff out there that's just, let's try something and see how that goes. And then in the other phase, we just go the completely other way. And sometimes when we do that on purpose to have something completely OP and something probably not powerful enough to kind of try to see, okay, what's the middle? Where is it, how far is too far in both directions? And therefore, where can we find the middle line?
Yeah.
Nice.
And if you're interested
Cool.
in some other changes that are going to be applied, some with 2.16 already this week, tomorrow basically. Some others
Basically.
would happen with 16.1, just because, as you all know, build submission takes time, and we needed to ensure that this is exactly the changes that we want to go with. So that's why they're going to happen a little bit later than the initial release.
What?
But please do check the known issues board because, among other changes,
I'm so
you're going to
confused.
find the changes we implemented to Striker,
Yep.
to chest, to a backpack, and to 3 pieces equipped bonus.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't list all of them. I wouldn't want to list all of them right now, so I'm not confused by a lot of values and numbers. But you can check everything on the known issues board, and as well as the information about exotic drop.
Mm-hmm.
We actually made a nice table
Yep.
that lists all the percentages of the exotic drop. So it's also on the known issues board. Please do check.
There, if I can comment on that.
Yeah,
just
of course,
quickly,
of
but
course.
I know that the numbers look very low, and people are.
Hold on. So, what they're talking about is that chart for the exotic drops, and you would see that the 2 highest ways to get exotics once this changes is going to be the Dark Zone and then Legendary Strongholds. So those are going to be your top 2 ways of getting exotics in the game. Now, they made the Dark Zone the number 1 way to get exotics. However, it's a very small percentage. It's like 0.0072. And so they're about to address that right now because everyone's talking about exotics and exotic components, and they are increasing them, but it's by a very small percentage. All right, here we go.
We actually made a nice table
Yep.
that lists all the percentages of the exotic drop. So it's also on the known issues board. Please do check.
There, if I can comment on that.
Yeah,
just
of course,
quickly,
of
but
course.
I know that the numbers look very low, and people are commenting on that. When you look at drop rates and you see something that is 0.016% or whatever, that feels really low, and it is really low. But the intention with adding chances to drop exotics on every single NPC in the game, our intention is not to have exotics rain. What we want is that random moment where you're running in the open world and you're just shooting the red bar because it's in your way. That moment you drop an exotic, that's what we're after. It's those moments where you just out of nowhere you get an exotic item. So it is going to make exotics a bit more generous, but not so much. But it's going to create those moments where suddenly you get one where you
Gotcha.
were not expecting to have one. You still have all your predictable sources that still exist. We're also increasing the sources for exotic materials or exotic components elsewhere. So that's another way to get exotic components.
I can't
But
wait to
exotic
test that.
items, we just wanted to see them appear in new spaces in other areas that you're not used to seeing exotics into. And now you just know that even if you can't play that specific content, even if you can't, try to kill the bosses to get the exotics or whatever, you will always have a chance to get it randomly by playing anything in the game. So it gives you just more choice to decide to play what you want.
Yeah, that is,
Very cool.
That is a really nice improvement. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope a lot of you also do. But I think if we are more or less done with what we wanted to mention about the PTS changes, if you have questions or if you want to learn more, just visit our known issues board or the forum, because we still have the patch notes for both PTS phases that would give you a very good overview of what has been changed and what is awaiting for you in 16 and 16.1 title updates.
And that striker is going to be a good one too.
Another big change that is coming to all of you and our PTS players know, but for the rest of the community, I think it's important for us to repeat that once again, that we're adding three new difficulties to the countdown game mode. And this is not the only change about the countdown, not the only great thing that we want to mention. It's do you want to go into the details, countermeasures, currency?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of big and small things with countdown. So yes, the first one, as you mentioned, and as we're seeing here, is the addition of more difficulties. So what we're doing is
we're back to the
difficulty that you have on the game today is going to be the challenging one. So we're adding 2 easier versions and 1 harder version. The idea to try to cater to as many people as possible. And that's feedback we took from, right from PTS of season 9, basically, where people were like, okay, that's fun, but it's, I want to be able to play it solo. I want to be able to have a harder version and all these kind of things. So we wanted to, it was clear from the beginning that this was something that would help bring more players to the mode. So we did that. We implemented all those new difficulties. You can choose, to go in whichever difficulty you want based on, what is actually fun for you. All of them are playable up to 8 players, but you can play them solo as well. So, whoever will be the first players to complete Heroic solo, I'm sure, that's going to happen faster than we think. But it's, you can also, if you just want to run around and have an easy time to just look at the space and not be take some nice pictures and all of that. You can just go in normal solo if you want. So that's really just to give you more choices at the end of the day. On top of that, the few things we're adding is, as you mentioned, we're making a few improvements to the economy of the game mode. And the idea being to try to bring more people to stick around until the end. Because one thing we've seen in terms of behavior is a lot of people were just joining a matchmaking, joining a session, just to kill the hunters at the beginning, because that's the most generous source of loot, and then leave as soon as the 4 initial hunters were dead. And that really wasn't our intention, especially because when you leave everybody else behind, stuck in a session where they probably cannot complete it, or they're going to be having a very hard time. So what we've done is we've increased the rewards, the currency rewards you get if you do the extraction. We've also increased decreased the drops on the first wave of hunters. So that means the first 4 that you get when you start the mode, they will drop less items. And all those items they're not dropping, we put them on the second wave hunters. So that means at the end of the day, if you complete the game mode, you will have as many loots as you would have, but we're distributing.
Dang. So what they just did there is, say you get 4 drops per hunter, right? Instead of that, they're going to drop it down to, say, 2 drops. And then they're going to add the 2 drops that they took away to the back-end hunters. So then those back-end hunters, instead of 4 drops, you get 6. That's going to be a huge difference. Not only that, but they just said they're going to increase the requisition credits that you get when you extract. And I did show that during the PTS, where whenever we extracted, we had like 120, 130 requisition credits in one run. So that's going to be huge for farming. This sounds really good. And during the PTS, it was really good, especially on Heroic. Holy moly, the loot is amazing on Heroic. playing Countdown. All right, here we go.
Distributing more of them towards the end. So it's really to try to get people to stick around longer and finish the mode. That's a 15-minute session, so hopefully it's not asking too much of people to get more loot. And yeah, we also, as you mentioned, you're also adding we're adding more countermeasures. I can't remember how many, to be honest, but
it was around 10 new countermeasures.
10
I
new-ish,
wouldn't
yeah.
I wouldn't list all of them right now,
Yeah.
but they gonna be in the patch notes,
Mhm.
and the patch notes will be released.
Yeah, and the countermeasures is what they're talking about right here, where we would have, I believe it was like 5 or so countermeasures that were normal. It would be, you know, like skill damage or, you know, hazard or close quarters damage, long range damage, things like that. Everyone knows all of these countermeasures if you've been playing Countdown. However, what they're doing now is they're adding about, it was about 10 or so. I think it was either 10 or 12 new countermeasures on top of that. So now those 3 countermeasures that you have to kill the hunters and, you know, subvert go from red to green. Now you're going to have so many other countermeasures that are going to go into that pool. Because remember, those 3 countermeasures are RNG based. So they're randomly generated. So sometimes you would get, you know, skill haste. Sometimes you'd get skill damage. Sometimes you would get close quarters. But now they're adding another 10 to 12 new ones on top of that. So now every game's going to be a mystery. Like, oh man, what's going to be the countermeasure this time? Because if you don't turn those from red to green, that gives yourself a disadvantage against those enemies. And that's why you want to turn it, you know, and subvert it to green. That way you get the advantage. And that's the entire premise of Countdown. I mean, this is pretty good. This is a really good change. Because during the PTS, we didn't know if we had status effects. We didn't know if we had hazard. We didn't know. And then sometimes when you'd go up against those hunters and say the close range damage was in their favor, they would like one hit you. So things like that. It keeps, you know, the game mode fresh. It is a good change.
Tomorrow with once the build is live. But if you want to take a quick look at whatever changes that come in with it, basically everything was on the PTS, so it's totally free to check it's totally fine to check the PTS patch notes. But of course with the understanding that some gear and equipment would go through changes.
Mhm.
But for Countdown it's totally fine. And it's the loot quantity is not the only thing, right? We're still decided to disable the group kick, so
Yes.
it would not be possible for a leader to kick other players. And we know that during the PTS, some of you actually voiced your concerns that that can be problematic in the future, and we hear you, but this is something that we decided to collect more feedback on. So with the Season 10 release, we hope that more players would be able to compare how it feels having this feature on and how it was in Season 10, and would let us know, because we are absolutely open to suggestions and would want you to feel comfortable playing the mod first and foremost.
Yes.
And last but not least, another great thing about Countdown, we can finally show you the trailer and release it on social media. So let's watch.
Radiation levels detected.
All right. Now, before we watch anything else, let me talk about that. So what they did now is that you can never kick someone from Countdown. So it doesn't matter if it's the very beginning, doesn't matter if it's the end of Countdown, you'll never be able to kick them. So because of that, they're saying it could be problematic. But let's think about this, shall we? So why would it be problematic to not be able to kick someone from Countdown? Because the enemies do not scale. The hunters don't scale. The overall enemies don't scale. The extraction doesn't scale. Nothing scales. So the part of that is very confusing, because what's the downside to this? Maybe someone gets disconnected. Maybe someone's not helping. What, you want to kick them? Fine. You can, you know, that's going to be the only issue there, right? but there's nothing being scaled. There's nothing being done. So it's the same equivalent as someone being, disconnected or delta'd as it is for, normal stuff. But let's watch it.
Detonation imminent. Warning. Radiation levels detected. Detonation imminent. Warning. Full lockdown initiating.
Sound the alarm! It's the division!
Proceed with caution. Eliminate security breach.
This is a pretty damn cool trailer. Not gonna lie.
Stable. EMP detonation imminent.
Okay, so we get 8 new countermeasures.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
Nice. Hit the button. Hit the button.
And we're back. There was a bit of a technical delay, but at least the
Perfect smile.
The
Perfect,
best part was the
holding the
hunters.
face, holding
Let's
the-
watch that again. I love that part with the hunters. Oh, that was sick. Oh no. There we go. Yes, let's go. Oh man. Yo, just imagine looking up to that. Yep. You're done, bro. It's so sick.
And we're back. There was a bit of a technical delay, but at least the
Perfect smile.
What was
Perfect,
the
holding
technical
the face,
delay?
holding the look. That
yeah,
was
I just
impressive.
had no idea if it was on or not. So
That
but-
hunter shot though,
the hunter. Oh
it
yeah.
doesn't get old. Like I want that as a background
As
actually.
a
Yeah,
poster.
it is
Background.
Like
pretty.
your whole
it's
wall in
epic,
apartment,
dude.
just
Yeah.
have a
It's
photo.
pretty
Yeah,
That
dude,
one.
look at that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
epic.
That's
I really love that. Oh, I think it's the most popular GIF on our social
Mhm.
media
Of course it
nowadays.
is.
Mhm.
And
It's the
like
best
everyone-
thing about it.
yes.
Oh, it actually was one of my favorite things about season 9. The
Which part?
hunter. The
Ah.
hunter.
Spoilers.
I mean,
Hopefully everybody played season 9. If you
I mean,
haven't,
yeah.
well,
it's your last day.
It's
That's
spoilers.
all.
you have one night. You have one
One
night to
night.
do it.
But talking about next season, talking about season 10
Yes.
and the next Manhunt, I hope that some of you had a chance to take a glimpse of the small cutout of the trailer that we showed during Forward conference, and hopefully you were able to see the new prime target, General Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
and a mysterious person called Natalia Sokolova.
What?
We didn't get to see her face, and this is actually not something that we want to talk about right now at all. Like, I
What?
don't know what's.
Oh,
please,
no.
please show Yannick's face. You guys cannot see his
do
face, but he was sitting with it,
I was like,
very surprised.
I was like, oh, she mentioned
expressed.
Sokolova. Okay, we're going
We
on.
already did. If it's not something that I'm supposed to mention, I will have a conversation with our
Okay.
narrative director later.
Oh my
But,
god, that's cringe.
Yeah,
that was
the
cringe.
cat is out of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
There is something happening, and if you paid attention to the trailer, then probably you noticed a very distinct jacket
Okay.
that the General Anderson is wearing.
Okay.
I do not really know how many of you were able to take a hint,
Okay.
But
What's the jacket?
I actually had no idea myself because, guys,
Oh
if
my
I'm
God.
honest, this is something
Just
that
tell
Yannick
us.
told me recently. And I was like,
Just before we went live.
is it true? So actually, the grand reveal is
Oh, you wanted okay.
the jacket.
The jacket. No, so yeah, I mean, season 10 is about General Anderson. We're going to keep building on the events that took place
Oh
in
my
season
God.
9.
What about the jacket?
Trying to navigate that without spoiling too much in case a few people still haven't finished season 9. But we're building on those events. We're going to be going after General Anderson, trying to understand a bit better what is he after, what's going on here.
Whoa,
him.
that's sick.
And his beautiful jacket. He's built a team.
Yo, what is that dude in the far back right? What is he holding? That's a huge tank. That's going to be a new Chunga, man. The guy in front of him's using a ACS 12. Okay. Interesting. They look cool. Those are our new manhunt targets.
With him, as you can see, a team of both True Sons and Black Tusk. So what is going on there? So it's going to be, exploring a bit more the relationship between him and the Black Tusk, him and trying to rebuild the True Sons. The jacket that he's wearing is, for the lore fans there, it's the Anton Ridgway jacket. So you can imagine Anderson being a power-hungry leader. As soon as, Anderson Ridgway's body was still warm, he probably just took the jacket and put it on as like, I'm the new leader now.
Dang.
But
So that's Ridgway's jacket. So everyone knows the Ridgway's Pride, Exotic, same guy.
yeah, it's gonna be building on all those events. Of course, if you I'm not gonna say that again because in case you haven't finished season 9, I don't want to say it. But yeah, you're going to see some of the faces you've seen in season 9 as well. And yeah, it's all events that keep adding to each other. And you mentioned Sokolova. We are going to be hearing a bit more from her as well, exploring all of that. So
Yeah. Hashtag
this is my
who
spoiler.
is
Yo, that is sick. Okay, so the two guys on the right are Black Tusk, and then the two people on the left are True Sons. But they just showed us each of the manhunt targets one by one. That's pretty sick.
In case you haven't finished season 9, I don't want to say it.
So
yeah, you're going to
General
see some of the
Anderson's
faces
going to
you've,
be
you've,
the
seen in season
main
9 as well.
manhunt for season
And,
10.
yeah, it's all events that keep adding to each other. And you mentioned Sokolova.
So this is
we're
probably going to be the
hearing
first
a bit more
manhunt,
from her as well.
which starts tomorrow, I believe.
Exploring all of that. So
yeah. Hashtag
This is my
who
spoiler
is
free.
she?
Yo, that thing's so cool.
Yeah, it's very hard to talk about Manhunt without revealing too many spoilers. And actually, I'm trying
He looks
to
cool too.
leave as spoiler-free as possible. As you can imagine, that is a very hard task considering my position and my job. But still, yeah,
Stuff we have conversations to talk about story coming in future seasons and all that. And Daya is sitting there, and Daya said it very clearly from the beginning. She doesn't want spoilers. She wants to experience the story in the game when it's live on the game, which is cool, but it makes it hard for us to navigate sometimes.
I mean, there were too many spoilers already. So yeah, unfortunately.
I did see once I was talking about story and you just got up and left. And I don't know if
I
it was
had to.
because I was talking about story or
No,
because you had something else to do, but it felt like, oops, I might have said too much.
You
Sorry.
understood my intentions super well. But no, of course it was because I didn't want any spoilers, and I mean, yeah. But I'm very interested to learn more about Natalia because that is, I mean, General Anderson is a handsome guy. We can't deny that. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the relationship there.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
but I mean, I'm
The
just
Division tabloids right there.
I'm speaking
Division
the truth.
tabloids, Jesus.
Yeah.
No, I mean we have a cool lineup coming. We've been introducing new characters. We have a bunch of other new characters that we want to introduce. There's all the relationships between all of them. Sokolova, of course, is going to be a centerpiece there as well. So there's a lot of new things and a new people and stories to explore. And a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, and you already mentioned it, but it's also a part of the trailer that we're gonna show you when we're done talking. Another character whose relationship with other characters we're gonna explore is the Captain Lewis, right? And many are targets, so we're gonna learn about their relationship more, and of course we're gonna learn more about the GDF and the story behind GDF and how they transformed throughout the history of the division, which is also should be super interesting for
JTF?
the lore fans.
Okay.
Okay, then talking about trailer, I think it's about time to just
New
take a look at
trailer,
it
here we
because
go.
it's super nice.
Let's
do
see.
this.
Black Tusk.
Hey, Agent. Unless you need a powder shower, you might want to move your ass.
It's Captain Lewis.
You were right. Lewis may be a problem.
I'm glad you agree, General. Watch him.
And see what he does next.
Who better to lead you to
So
the
that was
rat's nest
Natalia.
than a rat?
Whoa. Whoa, hold up. Whoa. Whoa, that was cool. New season roadmap. Okay, so we have the new Manhunt. We have the 2 new legendary strongholds. We have the free countdown modes. So now we'll have normal, hard, challenging, and heroic. We have the new season pass for season 10. So that's going to give you more loot, more cosmetics, appearance things. Speaking of which, then we have 2 new apparel events. So Paragon looks to be the one on the right, and Dark Path seems to be the one with the baby face. I'm assuming Dark Path, the baby face. Then we will have 6 Manhunt targets, 4 League events, 4 global events, and more. Okay. That's the Busy Bee. That's the Dr. Home. Nice. Those were 2 new outfits. Yeah, those were 2 new outfits too. That was pretty cool. So that was the Busy Bee and the Dr. Home with their 2 new outfits. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Okay. The new legendary events. Whoa, that outfit looked pretty cool. Oh my gosh. What? Nice. Oh, another one. So now we actually have the full-on roadmap. So our first target tomorrow or later on today, wherever you're from, is going to be Target Trig. After that is going to be the apparel event, Shade Paragon. Pretty cool. But on the 20th, it starts the Trig League event. And then remember, the League event goes on for 2 weeks. So it's going to be Manhunt Target, League event, and then League event, apparel event, and then global event at the same time. That's going to be pretty wicked. So we'll have the Trig League event, the apparel event, and the Polarity Switch event at the same time. After that, we will have the Manhunt Micro. And then a week after that's going to be, of course, the Micro League. And you can actually see the patches and the backpack trophies for each of these. So if you look behind the Micro League, you can see the little parrot. For Chirpy, it looks like a little skull mask. Yeah, you can see the little backpack trophies. And then behind the global events, you can see the patches. That's pretty cool. Okay. Not too shabby. So then we'll have Shade Exposed, Hollywood, and then Golden Bullets making a comeback. That's going to be right after Thanksgiving. Pretty cool. Let's see. Dang, we have to wait till November to go against Target Lucky. Dang, I was hoping he was going to be first. But we're going to have that and the baby face all around the same time. That's going to be crazy. All right, let's keep going. So that leads us into December. Nice. Okay.
Show me the baby. So yeah, this is what's waiting for you in season 10. It's gonna be available on all platforms starting tomorrow, September 13th. So yeah, mark the date. It's almost time.
It's a bonus.
And yeah, as you've seen, and probably some of you already know, especially our PTS players, that we are introducing legendary difficulty to the 2 remaining strongholds, Tidal Basin and Manning National Zoo.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, it's it was incomplete.
That's a pretty cool shot.
We had 3 of them. We have 5 strongholds and only 3 legendary difficulties.
Nice.
So we wanted to add the 2 missing ones. We've tried to to play around with the spaces. We've tried to bring in some new boss gameplay and interesting mechanics. So I know that on the PTS some players already completed them. I think some players even already soloed them. We've done a bit of balancing following PTS feedback. But just go out there, go destroy them. I will watch you. I will probably not beat them myself, not solo for sure, but I will try to find people to play with me. But yeah, so now we have all strongholds available in legendary difficulty, which is
Nice. That is nice.
We should definitely organize some sort of.
And remember
legendary
that the
join
legendary
actually.
strongholds are going to be your second
Legendary.
best way to get
Be carried.
exotics
Yeah, and be
as
carried.
far as
That's
these
what
new exotic drop
Right, that.
increases.
Okay then. I think it's time for our grand reveal.
Grand
Not a
reveal.
reveal in a sense, but this is something that I mentioned before in Agent Briefing, and this is this mysterious PvE game mode that some of you may have seen,
PvE
in our
game
roadmap
mode,
for,
season 11.
Year 4. And finally, it's time for us to open a crack in the door
Okay.
and show you a small sneak peek into how it
Yeah.
looks.
So I mean, just first, this is not season 10, just to be clear.
What is this?
This is we're targeting.
What is this? Okay, so they just said it's going to be a crack, and we're going to be able to get a glimpse of this new PvE game mode. All right, what is this? So I'm seeing Black Tusk, some sort of like, fake Western movie set.
Season 11 for this one. We'll take the time we need to make sure it's good, but so far it's on target. This is the first glimpse of the new game mode, as Daria mentioned. It is PvE game mode. The name of the mode is Descent.
Descent.
And
what's this? Okay. Yo, this is cool. All right. So we can do this up to legendary. Whoa. Toxic hazard. Rewards are red, blue, and a yellow? Interesting. Descent. I mean, okay.
as a gist, basically what the game mode is, it is a roguelite. If you're used to those experiences, you're going to go in there
Roguelite.
as an agent. We're going to take away your gear. You're going to start from scratch.
Ooh.
And you're going to have to use the mechanics that are available within the mode to become more powerful and try to take over harder and harder challenges as you progress. Once your session is over,
Like
because you
zombies?
died or because you decided to exit and cash in on your rewards, you come back into the mode, you start from scratch all over again. You have, of course, some rewards, and you have some more permanent progression that is involved in there. But
Sounds like
yes,
zombies.
Expect something that's going to feel very different.
All right. Now, don't get all crazy because I said zombies. So I say it sounds like zombies because remember in like Call of Duty zombies, whether it be Black Ops 2, 3, what have you, whenever they do zombies, it's its own separate mode where you start off, no matter what, you start off with a pistol. And then you keep working your way up, and then you can keep going, right? And then whenever you end your session with your friends or whatever, and you come back into zombies, you start off at the beginning, right? And the more times you play zombies, the more times you understand, oh, okay, I do this, I'll get a certain weapon or I'll get a certain perk. I do this, I'll be able to, survive longer. And that's essentially what it sounds like. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be legit zombies in the Division, but as far as the game mode and how to play, it sounds very, very similar.
Especially the progression, because one thing that I want to mention, because I don't want people to draw that conclusion, it's not going to be like we take away your gear and you have to drop items inside, or green items and blue items and purple items. That's not the way we're going to handle that. There is no loot in this mode. We are using your talents. We are using the game talents. So
like your perks.
Combining talents, like looting talents, combining them and building mechanics and combinations that the game usually doesn't allow you to do.
Dude, this sounds just like zombies, because remember, if you stack like a juggernaut and like, I don't know, like sleight of hand or whatever, you would have like crazy reload speed and you'd be super tanky. Remember things like that? I mean, this sounds relatively like zombies.
So you're going to be able to create completely new playstyles, completely new builds and combinations inside that game mode that are going to allow you to become
Sounds really cool.
probably super
I
powerful,
can't wait.
probably way more powerful than what you can reach in the game.
I'm
but
down.
It's all contained in that session, and once the session ends, you start over again, and maybe you make different decisions.
Hell
every time
yeah,
you are-
dude. That sounds cool.
Every time you're completing a room, as
I'm
roguelikes,
down.
for those that are familiar, we give you a choice. Do you want this or that? You make a decision. You go to the next room, make a new choice. So every session is going to be different because the choices will always be random.
Cool.
Yeah, and
That is cool.
this is basically as much as we can reveal right now, and we ask you not to bombard us with questions just because we won't be able to answer all of them, and we'll ask you to patiently wait for the next time we are more comfortable to show you more.
Maybe some gameplay. Who knows?
Yeah, and the only thing that I can mention on top of what Yannick already said, that of course I had a chance to try it myself, and I must say that it was quite challenging. It was tough, but that's what makes it really exciting and interesting.
Yeah, it is, because it's, as I said, we're taking away your gear. So especially if you're used to the game, you have to relearn how to play without your godlike,
That's a cool
fully
screenshot.
optimized build, right? So you're gonna have to use cover again. You're gonna have to use weapons that you might not be used to handling, so it's really about, what makes it hard is especially this going back to the vanilla experience in a way of having a character without gear. But then as you progress, you can, as I said, you can build your character, you can go back to old habits. But the first habit that a lot of us have is when you enter into the mode is, I'm going to just face tank everything and camp the spawn closet and just shoot everything down, and that's just not going to work there. Not at the beginning anyway. So it's really about relearning how to use cover, how to use space, how to play tactical, because the mode is here to try to kill you. So yeah.
Yeah, very encouraging, very exciting. But then, is there anything in the Division that does not try to kill you?
You're
Maybe.
another division agent. trying to
That
kill you.
dog in New
Yeah,
York
I
City.
mean, probably maybe only the deer.
Oh, there you go, the
How
deer.
do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you know they're not up to something?
What?
let's not give people
Oh
too
my
many
God.
things to think about. Okay, that was it. I really hope that it will be possible for us to come back with more information soon. But as I mentioned, do not expect everything to be revealed like tomorrow or in a week, because first and foremost, it's planned for season 11, and even though it's still happening this year, we have season 10 to go through.
Yes.
And it's very exciting season. Actually, that's one joke before we move to the next thing. When I myself was playing through season 9, I thought that Hidden Aliens, like, you understand what the name means when you finishing the season, when you finish it. But then I was like, what if we called it Turning Tables? Like, that would be an amazing idea for season
Turning
9.
tables.
But maybe for season 10 as well.
Yes.
Turning tables, because tables, they have turned.
Tables can turn. But season 10 is called Price of Power, and there's also a meaning behind that, which we try to give as many hints as we can with our season names. So yeah,
Price of Power.
and the same thing with fire.
I bet that's about Sokolova.
But okay, I think that was it for the grand reveal, and there are also some things that, because we do not want to bore you with a lot of information. Last time we heard a lot of feedback that people want the live streams to be short and sweet, only filled with important information. So we're trying to do it just like that.
Oh, we're
just as
already
you
like
wanted.
50 minutes in.
And
Come on.
before we move to PvP, April events, and some other interesting reveals, there is the quick thing that I wanted to mention about ETF, because originally
ETF.
I wanted the ETF Foxtrot to be formed by the time of Season 10 start, but due to a lot of things and forward
Due to video game development.
due to video game development, yeah, because we had forward, we have Season 10 now, we're still processing your applications, and
Okay.
I want to ensure you that
So everyone asking about the ETF or claiming something about the ETF, just know that they have not even started to form the ETF yet. They are still accepting applications. So if you haven't already and you want to apply to be in the ETF, you can still go for it. They're going to have an ETF for PvP and an ETF for PvE. All right, here we go.
once we are ready to send out the letters, Hogwarts letters, to all of you to announce who's got in,
Hogwarts letters, nice.
we'll absolutely do that and announce it on socials, and you're gonna get the NDAs and emails. But the thing is, we received almost 3,000 applications, and
Nice.
it's quite a challenge to go through all of them, because we want to be thorough, we want to consider different options, and as you know, despite the popular belief that ETF is mostly packed with content creators or opinion leaders, which is partially true, and that would still be the case in the future, because of course we want people who are passionate about the game and very knowledgeable about it to be a part of ETF, but also we want
Hear,
to
hear.
invite players who are either top of the, I wouldn't say leaderboards, but I do not really know a better word for it. Who are
Interesting.
very knowledgeable about PvP or PvE, or I don't know, both. But at the same time, we're also interested in hearing from casual players, not only in the hardcore community. So basically everyone, every play style gets a say in the ETF. And this is what makes the selection process very tough, especially when you have so many applications to choose from. And one
Now,
thing that I want
so in doing that, what happens with the casual person? So does the casual person, are they even going to give a crap about doing the ETF? I mean, obviously they had to, fill out the application, but what are they considering as a casual? Because I know people that casually play the division and they're still playing it like 20 hours a week. I mean, let's be real. And then the hardcore people, they're playing like 40 to 50 hours a week. So it's kind of a interesting, vague term. I mean, casual. I mean, it's not going to be someone that just picked up the game and, I'll join the ETF, we'll see.
to mention, a lot of you were concerned that we're making a decision based on the playing time alone, because that was part of the questionnaire. And I just want to make sure that playtime is important, because mostly because for us it's one of the indicator to make sure that this is actually your account, given all other details, because this is the easiest way for us to compare your in-game name, your submitted playtime with the actual playtime in the game, right? But at the same time, for us, knowing your in-game name or Ubisoft Connect account, we can extract almost any information.
So if you're lying on your application, they're going to find out, obviously, because they're going to pull up your accounts. Interesting. Okay.
About your preferences, about your playstyle, preferred activities, and all that. So please be sure that the final selection is not based on the playing time alone,
No.
especially considering that we want
No, not at
casual
all.
players as well, and of course they would not be able to put hundreds of
Yeah.
hours in the game.
No, it's mostly just a confirmation because very often we have people that are like, "Yeah, I have 2,000 hours playtime," and then we check the account and there's 10 hours, and then we know that it's probably not the right account.
Exactly.
And we
People
need to,
lying, man.
look into that. But it's that's one of the main reason, and it's interesting to see how much, what's the the declared playtime compared to what the account actually has. But most of the time we're using the in-game data we get to select the profiles. That, and of course also interested in what kind of players we're talking about. But as Daria said, it's really about trying to have a really representative subset of the entire player base, not just the hardcore, not just the PvEers, not just the PvPers, not just the content creators. We want to hear from everyone.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Fair enough.
And a few comments for our PvP players.
PvP.
Please.
Let's hear it.
PvP, sure nobody wants to hear about PvP. No, so we've been talking a bit about it recently, and yes, we do intend to try to work on PvP and improve it. We've already said TU16 Season 10 is not going to be the update that changes everything. One thing we are doing though with Season 10 is neutralizing shrapnel trap in PvP.
Shrapnel
That's
trap.
something
No
that's
more
been asked for a
shrapnel
very long
traps
time.
in PvP.
We've been taking our time because we really wanted to try to find other alternatives rather than just removing something from the game. We wanted to see, can we actually fix it? Fixing it to make it work the way it should work is, for plenty of stupid reasons, it is actually very, very complicated. So I don't know how long it's going to take us. I don't know if that's even what we will want to do. I'll try to look at other solutions, but what we've decided for the time being is just to basically reduce its efficacy in PvP very drastically. So it's, you shouldn't use it in PvP at this point. It's not going to be any good.
Fair
And to
enough.
try to take that out of the equation from PvP, and the objective for us is to try to have a conversation that is about other things, so we can then prioritize other things that need to be improved. Because for TU17 Season 11, we want to start addressing some of those issues. So with Season 11, you can expect that there's going to be more PvP changes, but mostly along the lines of bug fixing, glitches fixing, and balancing aberrations fixing as well. We know that we have some of those. So that's what we're targeting for Season 11. It's going to be like trying to address all the main issues, like the big issues, the big elephants in the room that are plaguing PvP. We're going to try to address as many of those as possible in Season 11. And then eventually, once we have something that is a bit more stable, then we can start looking at balancing and potentially then even later on revisit the PvP experience and see what needs to be changed.
All right.
Thank
Fair
you
enough.
so much. I really hope that I understand that it's probably not everything that PvP community wanted to hear.
No, but that's one
That's
fix.
a very positive
I mean-
sign that
We're going to work on PvP. That's that's the promise I can make for you. It's just we're
Yeah.
going to work on it. We're going to try to make it function. We're going to try to make conflict and the dark zone function and provide a fun PvP experience. That's our priority. And we'll be taking the time we need, and we'll be working with the community and the ETF on that. And it's going to be an iterative process. As I said, we're not going to have one big PvP overhaul update. It's going to be every update. We try to do small changes, and we take it one step at a time.
Very cool.
Yeah, and
All right.
another reminder that Shrapnel Trap is also listed on our known issues board
Yeah.
among some other PvP initiatives that we have in mind right now and looking for a different solution. So feel free to check it.
Just to be clear on Shrapnel Trap, by the way, and just in case that didn't come through, it is only PvP. We haven't changed the balance. in
Only
So it
PvP.
will still work
Alright.
for those of you that use it in PvE. it will
Shrapnel
still
traps
work,
and
it will just not
PvE
work.
galore.
Cool.
Right, we-
Shrapnel
we-
trap your heart
next to
out.
nothing.
And while I'm preparing for your questions to be looked through and answered, let's take a final look at Season 10 stuff and its apparel events. I just specifically wanted to keep it closer to the end because I know that is probably a trigger warning, because if you're afraid of babies or
What?
dolls, probably
If
you
you're
should not watch
afraid of babies?
what we're
Oh,
gonna
no.
show
Afraid of
you
babies.
next. But if you already took a glimpse of the beautiful baby mask that is part of the one of the April events,
Bring on the
in
baby
season
mask.
10, you're gonna be fine.
Let's see it.
So we have 2 April events in
Yep.
season 10. One is called Shea Paragon. You can see it on the screen right now.
Nice.
And yeah, the baby. So Shea Paragon, the inspiration behind it is specializations,
Yep.
and we're gonna have 6 outfits
Nice.
that you will see a little bit later when the season is released. And I think this is actually something for our military fans, right?
Yeah, I mean, not all outfits, but it is it is trying to go into something that is a bit more military, a bit more tactical for some of them, a bit more like, okay, taking the fantasy of a specialization and pushing it to, okay, what would a person that uses that weapon, what would they wear?
Nice. That's
so
cool.
For the sharpshooter, for example, you
That
have
is
this
cool.
kind of like infiltration, camo outfit, and then you can imagine for the other ones. So some of them are like very military, very militaristic, very tactical. Some others are a bit more out there, but it's it is going to be closer to the military style that some players have been asking. And then we have the other one.
Yeah. The other
Yeah.
one. Show me the baby.
Baby
And the other one,
mask.
yeah, of course, it's dedicated to spooky season lovers.
Whoa, that's crazy
The baby
looking.
is not the only creepy mask that is gonna be a part of it.
Oh, it's
There's
not?
gonna be more, and as far as I
Yes.
remember, 5 outfits in total.
5.
And inspiration behind it, it's pretty obvious. Spooky season, yeah, certain
Hell
holiday,
yeah, dude.
certain
Hell
day
yeah.
in October, but that
I
should
love
be
it.
pretty obvious. So
Halloween?
yeah, I actually love how this baby looks. It's very cute. It's pretty.
Yeah, if you're not into the baby face, I hope you'll be looking forward to that chest though, because that vest is also really cool. So
It
yeah,
is
there's
cool.
It's
Alright.
darker, of course. That's gonna be a darker one, but there's gonna be stuff that's a bit,
Hell
a bit
yeah,
more of a
dude.
spooky theme.
That sounds cool.
But there's also some pieces individually that I think people will be very excited with. So again, some people will love the baby face, others will hate it. That's fine. Nobody's forcing you to wear that. But even without taking that into account, if you take that outfit, you remove the baby face. I think there's something pretty cool there as well. So hopefully something for everyone.
Fair enough. Cool.
And now I think we're ready to take a look at the questions. And thank you so much, our community team who are tirelessly working in the chat right now and submitting questions for us to see. So we'll just go through the list and
So yeah, people asking about specialization rework. Yes, you will see that it is not in our plan for year 4 at the moment. We are taking our time with the specialization rework because when it comes out, we want that to be a transformation. We want that to completely change the way you approach character building, the way we approach game. So we need to take the time to do that proper. It touches on so many aspects of the game. That there's a lot of things that we need to relearn on how they work because the team that built that is not here anymore. So we really don't want to release specializations and end up breaking every character build. So we're taking our time. We're taking our time to think about how does that, what place does that occupy in the end game, and how do we make it an interesting progression again.
So when?
And taking a bit of the learnings from expertise as well there. So we'll take our time. So far, we've moved it out of our content plans because we just we don't want to push ourselves to ship something that is.
They moved it out of their content plans. Dang. So they're in pre-production now. They're still at the drawing board. That's probably meaning year 5. Yeah, probably year 5.
Not satisfying because we committed to a date. So we are not going to commit to a date until we are 100% sure we can do something that is,
Amen.
the transformation that we're looking for.
Good call.
thank you for confirming that.
Because that could
I see
completely
that there are
destroy
several
the game.
questions about the new PvE mode Descent. We're specifically asking you not to submit any questions about it, but just looking through it.
It's quite granular, but it's rewards to take out of the mode. I don't know. We are not there yet. We are building the experience right now. We haven't discussed rewards and the
Fair enough.
specifics of what happened if you're delta during a session. Do you lose your progression? Same. These are things that we haven't defined yet. Obviously, we'll try to make it as smooth an experience as possible. So these are things. It's good questions because it's things to take into account. But it's I can't tell you right now how that's gonna work because we're still building the thing.
Yeah, it's a bit too early, but I think it would be a part of the PTS at some point, and
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course we would love to hear your feedback once there is something that at least has a shape to show you and let you play through it. But I think this is a very good question about exotic components. Will they be needed to be extracted
Exotic
from the Dark Zone?
components.
No, they go immediately in your resources pouch. So
Oh,
you
nice,
don't need to
nice.
extract them.
So that question is, are you going to do challenging or heroic landmarks and get those exotic components and then have to extract? And the answer is no, that as soon as you do a challenging or heroic landmark in the Dark Zone, you're going to automatically get those exotic components added to your inventory. That's really cool. Really good news. So you can farm the Dark Zone now, and that's the number one way to get exotics that they increased. It's not going to be the number one technique, but as far as them increasing the drop rates, the highest will be in the Dark Zone.
So
And
people,
targeted loot in the DZ, I know that people have been asking for that. It's something we're investigating. We don't have a fix for it yet because we've been prioritizing other things. I know that's not what you want to hear, but that's the truth. Everything in a game is a question of priority. So it's on our list. And now that we're getting some other things out of the way with season 10 coming out, we're going to be looking at that. So
Fair
hopefully
enough.
we'll be able to.
What about Kinley
to
College?
fix that, but it's it hasn't happened yet.
What about the targeted loot in
will
the
we have
DZ?
more hardcore achievements?
Hardcore mode achievements. That's something we could do. We haven't planned that yet. But we do want to, revisit hardcore at some point.
Nice.
I know that it's been on beta for forever. And
Fair enough.
we have some ideas and some plans on how we can revisit it. So when that happens, achievements probably going to be on the list of things we want to add there. But I don't have any dates yet.
Okay.
Can we have more legendary missions? We just announced.
I mean, we have to, but it makes sense, right? There is a new difficulty, and we would want to have that difficulty available everywhere. There's nothing that's blocking us from doing it. But I think the main question is more the need for difficulty in the game, and is legendary really the answer to that? Because we have made the players way more powerful with the expertise, and also making gear sets and boosting gear sets to a way that's they provide more power to the players than they used to. That's fine, but of course that creates extra stress on the difficulty of the game, and we know that some players have already mastered difficulty and they can run legendary solo with their eyes closed. So
PHX gaming.
of course we can do more legendaries, but there's also the question of how do we handle difficulty in a future-proof, sustainable way to make sure that there is always challenging content for everyone. That's something we need to answer, and I don't think legendary is necessarily the answer for that.
Just
Thank you for answering that one.
other cool ways of
There is a
challenging
question
yourself.
about the
I like
countdown
it.
hunters mask, especially the whale. I think that question has been around for some time now, since season 9
Yeah.
release,
So
and
So this is the question. Because in Countdown you see these altered hunters, right? It'll be like a OG hunter mask with like a veil over it, or it would be like a Wony hunter mask with like night vision goggles, things like that. And I've always thought that it would be amazing if we could get them to drop like those attachments or something, and then you could put them on your own hunter mask. Let's see what they say.
it's probably a question for our art production team.
Yes.
But that is something that we have been discussing, and in the end of the stream, by closer to the end, I will tell you something about that. Not about the countdown
About that?
hunters, but
Oh,
For you hunter lovers.
for hunters. That's
What?
gonna be for hunter lovers.
okay.
And the
So
Delta
hunter.
fix, yeah, we know
Hunter
that
information.
this issue has been very pressing, and we're very sorry that some of you had to endure that and had a lot of troubles with the crashes. And it's actually that something that we keep investigating and keep fixing. And with season 10 releasing tomorrow, there are going to be 10 new fixes that are supposed to help with the PC stability.
10
And of
new
course
fixes.
That's not it,
Dang.
because there are some things that we have our suspicions about and still need to investigate. So potentially it does not stop with this 10 fixes. Of course, there is going to be more. There are going to be more improvements, and we'll be tracking the stability with every next
Okay.
title update installment.
I mean, all right.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Hopefully that helps the PC community.
Needle in a
I mean,
haystack situation. We are trying to fix.
We're going in the
there's
right
several
direction.
needles, so every time we find one, we try to fix that one, and we know there's more, and we know we need to fix all of them. But it's always trying to look at what are the crashes reports we get. And when I talk about reports, there's player reports, but there's also the in-game tracking reports we get. So trying to group that, prioritize that based on what are the ones that we see the most, what are the ones that sometimes we may see one a lot, but actually can we identify the cause of it? Not always. So some of them are easier to fix than others. So of course, when we say we are fixing some of the causes of crashes, that might not fix it for you, but that fixes it for someone else. So every time we fix one, that's a few less crashes for some players, and that means it allows us to narrow down the conversation to other crashes. So even if it doesn't fix it for you, I'm sorry, but it's at least it's an improvement for all of us as a community.
And
Okay.
of course, we'll be tracking your feedback, and we'll be tracking game stats to see if this 10 fixes how drastically the improvement is. So keep us updated, keep us posted with your feedback. If you suspect that there is specifically something that may cause the specific crash for you, just let us know, and we'll definitely investigate it on our side, because we take this issue very seriously, and we as upset as you're about the stability on PC right now.
Okay.
Let's see what else we can take from the chat. I think the
bet
character
that's about it.
slots, that's quite a popular one.
If we will get more character slots in the future, that's not something we're exploring at the moment. It all has to do with save size, and if we add more character slots, that means the save file of your account becomes bigger, and you multiply that by X amount of players we have, and the traffic it generates every time the server is asking for that save file and needs to get it, and then it's that's something we need to be very cautious with, because if we do it wrong, we could increase latency for everyone. So we need to be cautious with that. One thing where that could happen is when we're talking about hardcore, for sure. And I know that there's been a request for a very long time to have a special character slots for hardcore characters, and that's something that we may want to do when we visit a hardcore. But otherwise, we don't have plans to add more character slots for
Okay.
the normal game.
That
And
would
I
be cool to have separate
hazard to
character
suspect
slots for
that the main
hardcore.
reason why people would want more character slots anyways for storage, not because they want more character play styles, because you can do all of that on your main character. So the main problem here is storage, and that's a different problem.
And there is a question about year 5. I know that it has been confirmed this Saturday in Ubisoft Forward that we're committed and already started working on it. But at the moment, unfortunately, and you're not going to be happy about my answer, we are not ready to reveal more, because there is a lot of new great things coming, of course, and we want you to be excited about them, because I myself, I'm super excited, even though I'm trying to keep as spoiler-free as possible. Things that I overheard are very nice. And Another question, and it actually
Okay.
is something that I wanted to share with you right from the very beginning, but I'm grateful for whoever asked this one. Give us something to spend textiles on. And actually, there is gonna be something
Textiles.
throughout season
Oh,
10.
apparel.
I do not know the date exactly. We're gonna release the yellow hunter outfit
Stinger outfit, yeah.
that was previously and still available through the
The referral program.
yes.
Referral
And
friend,
it
yeah.
would be available for you to buy for textiles in the store.
Nice. I don't even have that
So
outfit.
yeah, you asked and we answered
All right.
because I know
Yes.
that was a very
Sweet.
popular request before.
That gives everyone a new
Yeah, I mean,
hunter
it is,
outfit.
it's
Hell
been,
yeah.
you know, hanging there, and you know, it's cool as a referral incentive, but it's also it's a bit of a waste to have it there and be so desirable, and yet it's very hard for a lot of players to get enough referrals to actually get it.
Hell
it's,
yeah. That's
We
sweet.
decided to put it to make it available to everyone on the store and with textiles. So if you want it, you can go get it. If you're sitting on a lot of textiles, it's gonna be nothing for you anyway. So it's
Nice.
just a way to spend a bit of those textiles, but especially it's just a gesture to make sure that everybody can get the hunter outfit, the yellow hunter
All
outfit.
right, I'm down.
Yeah, and the only thing that I would mention is just the referral program rewards will stay with the referral, but otherwise the outfit would be bought.
So you can still get it through the referral program if you want, but otherwise you can buy it in game.
Cool.
And
Alright.
talking about outfits, there is actually another surprise
What?
for season 10 that we prepared for you.
What's that?
It's called One Time Offer. And
One
if we can
time
show it on
over.
the screen here.
One time
Oh
offer.
yeah,
Okay.
basically it's on the topic of premium credits, right? So you can just, if you want to
Oh.
refresh your apparel, your garderobe, your wardrobe, then this offer is for you because you can get 2,000 premium credits and plus 1,000 for free. And
So
also
now they
this-
just have
this
a
outfit
new
that you can
outfit
just
for
see
premium
on your screen
credits.
right now.
Okay. Interesting.
And also cannot announce the date right now, just because I do not remember exactly. But it's coming with season 10, so be on the
I
lookout.
mean, that's
and
tomorrow
if you like
or
this
later
outfit,
today,
because I
wherever
think
you're
it's
from.
very military style, and this offer is
Okay. So that outfit's going to be
And
locked behind the
Those of you
premium
out
credits.
there, I'm sure that are in chat that are like, oh, MTX stuff, we don't care about that. This is what helps us keep supporting the game.
Yeah,
so it might
this
not be
goes
for you,
directly
that's
to the
fine, but
devs.
it's important for us to talk about.
And that's also how you get the
And yeah, you
season
can
pass.
purchase
So I mean, if you're going to get the
outfits,
season pass, you might as
right,
well
with
get this
the premium
one-time
credits,
offer.
like weapon skins. And
Makes
a lot
sense.
of- a
And
lot
it
of
helps
things.
them get more,
And that's
revenue
I
for
think
their
that's
game.
pretty much it that
Okay.
I actually wanted to show you today. I hope
Very cool.
you're excited about Season 10 Price of Power as much as we are. Just a quick reminder, releasing tomorrow, September 13th, on all platforms. Of course, there are going to be maintenance, and we will post an announcement later tonight.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. And actually, one last thing that I wanted to say, like, I do not really know if I'm supposed to, but I'm still gonna do that, just because I want
What?
you guys to be excited.
Check
So
my face again.
yeah, he knows. That's fine. I asked him. So the climax mission for season 10.
That thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very nice and big surprise for you. The mission where it's gonna take place.
The mission.
But I'm not-
Okay.
Any college.
Yes, it's not Kinley College, but I'm not gonna say anything else because then Morton will be upset with me. So, yeah, I
Fair
hope
enough.
you enjoyed the stream. We
Okay.
try to keep it as brief as possible. Let us know because we cherish your feedback and we want to deliver content in a way that is suitable for you and enjoyable for you. So we'll be happy to hear what you think. And thank you so much for joining us today. Do not forget, Season 10 Price of Power releasing tomorrow on all platforms. So thank you so much,
Okay.
and see you next time.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Thank you,
And that
everyone.
was the entire
Bye.
special report. Very cool.
Hey, Agent.
All right, that was pretty damn cool. They're playing the trailer again, so we'll play that at the end as well. But that's a lot of good information. So we're going to get the Hunter outfit that was previously the Refer a Friend program. Even I don't have that outfit, so that's going to be a cool new outfit for me to have. We are getting Season 10 tomorrow with the Legendaries. The Legendary NPCs have been tweaked. The exotic drops have all been increased by a little bit. We're going to get those new exotics, new brand set, new gear set, new named items. They said something about 16.1. I'm going to have to look more into that because I know tomorrow or later on today, wherever you're from, is title update 16. So we're going to have to figure that one out. But besides that, then we had The Descent, Season 11, new PvE game mode. It sounded kind of on the mechanics of like zombie-esque, kind of like zombies meets resistance, because it's probably going to be like a wave system, horde system, something like that. But instead of just bringing in your builds and your buddies, you're going to start off with nothing. So that's why I was saying more of like a zombie meets resistance type of deal. So we'll see. It's sounding like some sort of like waves, but it'll all change. You'll be able to get new perks and talents. You'll be able to get more, weapons and stuff. And the longer you're in there, the better your rewards. So, I mean, we'll see. It sounds really cool. I think that's about it. So with the start of Season 10, we're going to get that manhunt. So remember, we're going to get double XP for the first 15 levels. And we'll talk about more of that whenever the season goes live. But that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, support the channel, and let me know your comments in the comment section below. But I'm going to end you with this trailer, and that'll be it.
Unless you need a powder shower, you might want to move your ass.
You were right. Lewis may be a problem.
I'm glad you agree, General. Watch him.
And see what he does next.
Who better to lead you to the rat's nest than a rat?